Hello, sir. So our team will be explaining the aggregate demand and supply of the country Germany and the measures taken by the government to increase them. Can we move on to the next slide? Okay. So these are group members. So let me give a brief about Germany. Germany is a great power with a strong economy. It has the largest economy in Europe, the world's fourth largest economy by a nominal GDP. In 2016, Germany recorded the highest trade surplus in the world, worth 130 billion. The economy result made it the biggest capital exporter globally, and and the Germany is one of the largest exporters globally with 1,810.93 billion dollars worth of goods and services exported in 2019. The service sector contributes around 70% of the total GDP. Industry is 29.1%, and the agriculture is 0.9%. Exports accounted for around 41% of the national output. The economy of Germany is the largest manufacturing economy in Europe, and it is less likely to be affected by a financial downside. Now, the next slide, Simab. So these are the Germany indicators, as we can see in the screen. Currency is at 1.04 the last year, and the previous uh, quarter was around 1.02. And for the stock market, we can see it's 14,225 points, and for now it's 14,146. The GDP growth rate was valued at 0.3% for the last year, and for the last quarter that we know it's 0.1, that has decreased. And the inflation rate is 10.4 for the last year, and for the previous quarter it's 10, which has also decreased. The unemployment rate is constant at 5.5 for the last year as well as this last quarter, and the interest rate has also decreased from 2 to 1.25%. Now I would like to call Divyanshu for further explanation.
So here we'll be looking at the budget balance between 2017 to 27 in relation to GDP of Germany. As we can see that the figures are positive till the year 2019, which indicates a budget surplus, and the figures are the negative figures indicate a budget deficit, which was because of the obvious reasons of COVID and pandemic, and it is expected to again increase by the year 2027. Can you move to next slide, please, Sima? But what exactly is aggregate demand? Aggregate demand refers to the total demand, total quantity of goods and services demanded by an economy. And the formula to calculate aggregate demand is C plus I plus G plus X minus M, which stands for consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus exports minus imports. I would like to transfer to Tanvi.
Hello, sir. Um, Factors affecting aggregate demand of Germany: low wage growth and inflation, an aging society and low debt, balanced savings and investments, Europe and increased cross-border risk. COVID-19 outbreaks have delayed the reopening of economy. Manufacturing is booming while services and construction lag. Expansionary fiscal policy supporting growth. So when we come to low wage growth inflation, it is said that German wages barely grew in 2021 despite of skyrocketing inflation. Um, you can go to next slide. Uh, yeah, Rohit is going to continue from you.
Hello, sir. Now my topic is measures taken to increase the aggregate demand of the economy. So my first point will be recovery policies to foster a digital and green transition. It means that Germany lacks in infrastructure investment. Mobile and fixed broadband connections speed crucial for the digital transformation. Trail behind leading countries due to fee fiber connection and slow performance in small and rural municipalities. So, to for boosting infrastructure investment would help with these two key structural challenges while supporting short-term demand in the recovery phase. Now, my second point will be additional investment in high-speed broadband networks and low-emission transport infrastructure, included as a part of June 2020 recovery package. This is the second measure which will help in increasing the aggregate demand of the economy. Streamline infrastructure planning process include access to right of way for communication infrastructure and improve public procurement through better data collection and compilation. My third point will be barriers to firm entry and growth in expanding industry need to be removed. It means that new firms which are entering into the market, there should be some barriers to the entry to all the firms, as because it needs uh, it needs some time to grow the existing firm in the market. Now my next point will be R&D tax incentives introduced in 2020 with a cap of euro 2 million per year, expanded to euro 4 million until 2025. Now my next point will be acceleration of investment program to extend full day primary education from 2020. It has been implemented to increase the aggregate demand of the economy. And now the next point will be introduction of carbon pricing in transport and heating from 2021. Can we go to the next slide? So here in this image, in this graph, it explains the ratio of government expenditure to gross domestic product from 2017 to 2027. It refers that this statistic shows the ratio of government expenditure to gross domestic product with projection up until 2027. In 2021, government expenditure in Germany amounted to about 51.48% of country's gross domestic product. Now I would like to say Aman to continue with the slides.
In 2021, the services sector share in Germany's gross domestic product amounted to 69.8%, while we can clearly see that the secondary and primary sector generated less than third of GDP together. At your service, the territory or services sector encompasses all kind of intangible goods like consulting, advice, transport, or attention. If a country generates a GDP mostly via services, this is often through industries like tourism, financial services, or telecommunication. We clearly know that Germany is a popular tourist destination and an important financial hub. Germany is not a service desert. The services sector in Germany not only generates most of the country's GDP, it also employs the vast majority of the workforce with over 70%. Lately, the business confidence in the Germany services sector has increased significantly, which suggests a stable economy and ideally an increase in production and output in the future. This projection is supported by the rising GDP and a stable inflation rate around 2%. Can we move to the next slide? Aggregate supply or total supply refers to the total quantity of goods and services produced and supplied in an economy at a given price level during a particular period of time. Hereby, I would like Shreyas to take over.
So I would be talking about some of the factors that affect the aggregate supply. Those are size of the labor force, input prices, productivity, government regulations of the country like Germany, taxes and subsidies, and availability of various natural resources. Can we move to the next slide, please? So some of the measures taken to increase the aggregate supply of the Germany are advancement of technology to boost the production of the economy, easing various transportation jams that will help in increasing faster transportation. Also, various policies are made to manage the labor shortages, which is the problem that Germany is facing currently. They're also focused on strengthening the small and medium enterprises. They're also helping to promote reallocation by removing various barriers to a firm's growth. They've also decided to invest $3 billion to increase the semiconductor business, which will immensely help in increasing the production of the country, thus help to increase the aggregate supply of the economy. Further, Simab will continue with the slides.
Hello, sir. Myself Samap Timkar. And as we can see, the general government revenue and expenditure structure for the year 2020, that was the COVID year. We can see the taxes on production and imports, and taxes on income and wealth are and social contributions. These three lead to the most contribution to the revenue structure. Other than that, in the expenditure structure, we can see the social benefits, social benefits in kind, immediate consumption, and compensation of employees. These four sectors lead to a greater expenditure. These four sectors are higher contributors to the expenditure. And now, hence, we can conclude that Germany is one of the strongest and the best economies in the whole of Europe. German government is introducing different policies to get back on its vision of pre or to get back on its economic vision for pre-COVID era. Germany has one of the lowest unemployment rates, which will lead to a greater stability as they had vision. Heavy investment done by the government in the country will lead to a greater increase in the demand as there will be increase in production. Thank you.